Developing a portfolio assessment. Teachers must ascertain the rationale of having student portfolio in order to have a clear directions of what and how to success students' output. Next, teachers should be also empower students to collect and select to include their portfolio. Next, teachers must develop a rubrics as a guide of students in accomplishing the portfolio and as a reference of teachers in rating the outputs of students. Last, remember that the portfolio is the compendium of students' weaknesses and strengths and highlights how an individual students make learning and development happen. The portfolio development process. First is set goals. Goals are important to be clearly defined since they serve as the guide of students of what to include and how to arrange the elements of the portfolio. Second, collect. Students should collect all possible entries to be included in the portfolio. Third is select. Students sort all the collected entries and assess which collections are appropriate to be included on the basis of the predefined goals. Last is organize. Organize is one of the techniques to organize the entries is to clarify them by category, by types, by nature, etc. It encourages to develop students' creativity and resources during this stage. Fifth, reflect. It is very important that students reflect on their selected evidence of academic achievement in order for them to contemplate their strengths and weaknesses. This stage allows students to assess the meaningfulness of their learning experiences. 6. In this stage, highlight the judgment of the achievement of students based on the quality of presentation of evidence of their learning process. In evaluation stage, students, their peers, teachers, and their parents may contribute in rating their learning progress. It can be applied during the process or upon submission. Next, confer. It allows teachers to communicate with the students and or their parents had the results, outcomes of portfolio assessments that would explain or describe students' performance and progress of learning. Last is exhibit. In this stage, the celebration of learning. Students are given a chance to present, exhibit their portfolio in various means. Exhibit can be done through online platforms. Exhibit can also be done through an open house portfolio exhibit inviting the teachers, peers, parents, and other stakeholders. Awarding of best portfolio and other special awards can be done in this stage. Next is the type of portfolio. So first, the documentation portfolio or working portfolio. This approach involves in a collection of work over the time showing growth and improvement, reflecting students' learning of identified outcomes. The documentation portfolio can include everything from brainstorming activities to drafts to finish the products. The collection becomes meaningful when specific items are selected out to focus on particular educational and experience or goals. It can include the best and weakest of students' work. Second, process portfolio. They are particularly useful in documenting students' overall learning process. It can show how students integrate specific knowledge or skills in process towards both basic and advanced mastery. The process portfolio emphasizes students' reflection upon their learning process, including the use of reflective journals, think logs, and related forms of metacognitive processing. And last, showcase for portfolio. It is best when we use for summative evaluation of students' mastery of key curriculum outcomes. It should include students' very best work determined through a combination of students and teacher selection. This type of portfolio is especially compatible with audiovisual artifact development, including photographs, videographs, and electronic records of students' completed work. The showcase portfolio should also include written analysis and reflection by students upon the decision-making process used to determine which are included. Next is phases of portfolio development. First is organization and planning. Second, collection. And last is reflection. So in organization and planning, this is initial phase of portfolio development entails decision making on the part of students and teachers. It is by exploring essential questions at the beginning of the process, students can fully understand the purpose of the portfolio and its status as a means of monitoring and evaluating their own progress. So, last is key question for the teacher and the student must include A. How do I select times, materials, etc. to reflect what I am learning in this class? B. How do I organize and present the items, materials, etc. that I have collected? Last, C. How will portfolios be maintained and stored? So first is the collection. This process involves the collection of meaningful artifacts and includes reflecting students' educational experiences and goals. Decision must be made at this phase about the context and contents the portfolio based upon the intent and purposes identified for it. The selection and collection of artifacts and products should be based upon a variety of factors that can include: first, particular subject matter; next, learning process or special projects, teams, and or units. Last, all selections included in the collection should clearly reflect the criteria and standards identified for evaluation. So next is the reflection. So reflection, wherever possible, there should be evidence of students' metacognitive reflection upon the learning process and their monitoring of their evolving comprehension of key knowledge and skills. These reflections can take the form of learning logs, reflective journals, and other forms of reflection upon their experiences, the thinking processes they have used, and the habits of mind they employed at given points in the time and across time periods. In addition, teacher and or parent reflection upon the products, processes, and thinking articulated in the portfolio should also be included wherever appropriate. And the last, evaluating a portfolio. Portfolio offer a way of assessing students' learning that is different than traditional methods. Portfolio assessment provides the teacher and students an opportunity to observe students in broader context, taking risks, developing creative solutions, and learning to make judgments about their own performances. This says Paulsons and Mayer 1991. Teachers normally have multiple scoring strategies to evaluate. First is thoughtfulness. Second, growth and development in relationship to take curriculum expectancies and indicators. Third, understanding and application of key processes. Fourth, completeness, correctness, and appropriateness of products and process presented in the portfolio. And the last is diversity of entries. And that's all for our report. Thank you for listening. Good day and God bless us all.